Hi, you're watching Velo News TV. I'm Neil Rogers on location in Girona, Spain with Colombia rider George Hincapie and what's going to be the first of rider video diaries from the Tour de France. George, thanks for agreeing to join us from Brest to Paris for the tour.
Man, my pleasure. I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys daily and obviously looking forward to another Tour de France.
Yeah, and this is my first time in Girona, and I guess this would be the second of your hometowns I've visited because I've obviously been to Greenville. A lot of questions we want to ask you about the tour and about your season, but let's start off with Girona. When did you first come to Girona? When did you first start thinking of this as home? When did you actually buy your own place? And what do you consider home? I mean, is it Greenville? Is it Girona? So just sort of talk about the role this city has played in your career.
I've been here now for 12 years. I first lived in Italy, in Como, Italy, when I first became professional, and then came here soon after that. I really enjoy this town. The training is really good, as you saw yesterday. People are really friendly, the weather's good, and we've really made a home for ourselves here. We still consider Greenville our main home. This is definitely a close second home for us, and we'll always have a special place in my heart.
It's interesting. I know that Christian Vandevelde lives, he said 7K out of town on a golf course. But you and your wife Melanie have chosen to stay right here in the city. Talk a little bit about, obviously you could live a little bit out of the city, but you've made the choice to stay right in the heart of it.
Yeah, well, my wife's from France. She really enjoys the European lifestyle, and in America we live same sort of thing, 7K away from town, and I enjoy having those differences where I can come to Spain and live right in the town and have everything within walking distance. So I really feel lucky to have both scenarios.
Yeah, and you really have built a family here. Your daughter Julia is 3.5, is that right?
3.5, yeah.
And then just last week, birth of your first son, Enzo. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And how does that work out? I mean, are they Spanish citizens, French, U.S.? I mean, how does that work out? And also, how does having a son 2 weeks before the Tour de France affect your life? Yeah,
well, Julia's got a U.S. passport and a French passport, and the same with Enzo. He'll have a U.S. passport and a French passport. It's been pretty hectic. Last 10 days. Enzo was born. Oops, sorry.
No problem. That's just part of life in Girona. It's a great ring too.
Enzo was born last Friday, the 20th, and it's been I've been training super hard for the Tour de France, and I've been doing a bunch of double days, coming back from training in the morning, going straight to the civil office to get his birth certificate, then going to the U.S. Embassy in Barcelona. So I think I'm going to be sleeping the first couple of days of the Tour de France, but obviously I'm super excited. I think it's going to bring me even more motivation for the Tour. It's just really special to have another child in our lives.
And yeah, I forgot to wish you a happy belated as well. Yesterday was your 35th birthday.
Yeah, I thought it was 27, but yeah, 30. I'll take 35.
Well, see, if you were 27, it would make the next statistics even that much less believable, because this will be your 13th Tour de France, and in August your 5th Olympic Games.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe even for myself that this will be my 13th Tour de France, and they all kind of gelled together. There's been so many special memories at the Tour de France, and it's never monotonous at the Tour de France. It's always something new. It's always super hard. So I'm excited for my 13th one. I mean, I would never have imagined doing 13 Tour de Frances. And the same thing with the Olympics. I did my first one at 18 years old in Barcelona, not far from here, and now to be hopefully do my 5th one is a really special part of my career.
The one thing that will make this tour different than all the others is this will be your first outside of the, what was once Motorola and morphed into U.S. Postal and eventually evolved into the Discovery Channel team. Talk a little bit about your role on this team and sort of just how this team's run a little differently and how you envision the tour with this team versus being outside of that program.
Yeah, I mean, until you said something, I really wasn't even looking at it that way. I mean, I've gotten so used to and comfortable on Team Colombia this year. We've had great successes. The guys are a real pleasure to be around. The staff is really enthusiastic. So it's been a fun year, and I think that momentum will continue on to the Tour de France. Hopefully, the wins as well will follow. We've had so much success on Discovery Channel, U.S. Postal Service with Lance, and that part of my career I wouldn't trade for anything. But I'm really looking forward to going for stages, doing lead outs for Cavendish and Cholik, and trying to get in breakaways for myself. And we have so many different possibilities on this team with Kirchen for the overall, with Lundqvist for the young rider jersey, Cavendish for stage wins, Cholik for stage wins. I mean, it's endless, so it's going to be a lot of fun and really exciting.
I mean, morale could not be higher at Columbia, I would imagine. I mean, you guys have had an amazing season, and then to sign the title sponsor, it's got to be fun times just heading into the race before the race even starts. There's got to be the morale's got to be pretty high.
Oh yeah, I mean, any team would be content with just calling it a season right now. I mean, we've probably won close to 40 races, which is pretty phenomenal. More wins than any team I've ever been part of. So it's been an incredible year. Like I said, hopefully we just can continue that momentum of the tour.
And we've seen you take a couple of individual wins. I'm thinking of the final stage of the Tour of California, stage at the Dauphiné. I think you were second at the prologue. I'm forgetting which race now. You took second in the prologue. Was it Catalunya? Yeah, right here in Catalunya. And then, so do you have any individual goals? Would you like to try to get in yellow again? Is there a stage you're looking at?
Just breakaways. One of the two stages of the Pyrenees that I went and rode a couple weeks ago seemed to suit me pretty well. So I'll be looking to get in breakaways there, and hopefully have some decent time trials. Got a new time trial bike that I'll be showing off here in the next time trial.
That's right. You were telling us about that the other day. You said it's pretty slick, pretty fast.
I'll keep it top secret, but it's really, really nice. But yeah, the time trials and some of the middle mountain days are my goals, and I would love to win another stage of the Tour de France. If I can win two, even better. So I'm going to do what I can to make that happen.
A little frustrating that there's no prologue this year.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. It's also a little less pressure. I mean, the prologue is so much pressure and stress. I mean, there's no room for error, and it's one of the hardest events you can do. So at the same time, you can start off the tour with a little less pressure, which is kind of nice.
Sure. I know that here in Girona, you train with your Columbia teammates. Greg Henderson is here, Craig Lewis is here, Michael Berry. I know Michael Berry has been a long-time friend of yours. A little bit of a disappointment he wasn't selected for the tour team.
Yeah, for me on a personal level, Michael's probably one of my best friends in the peloton. So I was looking forward to being a roommate with him and doing his first Tour de France. Would have been nice, but I think we just got to look past that. Michael's going to really focus on the Olympics. I think he's got a great shot. And last time in Athens, he was this close to getting a medal. He snuck away there at the end.
That's right.
So we gotta hope that he does some good training here in July, and he'll have a good Olympics.
Yeah. Well, George, there's 1,000 more questions we have for you. Fortunately, we have 3 weeks to ask them. Anybody who's watching that wants to write in and ask George, the email address is velonewstv@competitorgroup.com. We're going to sift through the emails. We're doing Rider Diaries with Magnus Bagstad as well. So each day we'll go through the emails, pick out our favorites, throw them at you, and we will see you in Brest.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, George, thanks.
All right.